Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that if you ever get a deep wound and it's bleeding profusely, don't get a tourniquet. Go stand beside Jun-kun in a crowded street. You will not be losing blood anymore because you will not, there will be absolutely zero blood anymore. Oh fuck. Yeah, we're good. Anyways, let's just hop right in. After a bit of walking around, we eventually find a large store that sells all of the things we need. Once we go in, everyone almost immediately separates. Kei-kun goes towards the tennis gear, Shoichi peruses the volleyball section, and Jun just walks around aimlessly. Since I'm not particularly fussy about what to buy, I just find a shoe I like, take it to the front counter, and I'm done in less than 3 minutes. Oh shit, that's like loud. Let me just... Here we go. It's not like I'm buying a newer model either way. I'm just buying the exact same as my last one, because it's a bit spent. Unfortunately, the other three don't seem anywhere close to finishing up their business. Or in the case of Jun, finish doing absolutely nothing. I don't want to just sit around and wait either, so I guess I'll just join up with one of them. Ah, gay panic! Ah! Let's see. Shoichi should be at the volleyball section, and that is... Ah, there he is. I find Shoichi holding a volleyball. Well, tossing it between his hands and giving it a few squeezes. Too soft. Hey, what are you up to? Shopping for my birthday gift? Oh, sure, your birthday's in 3 months, and yet here I am, shopping for a gift already. Aw, and you want to make sure to buy it early so you won't run the risk of them running out of stock. How nice. He puts the ball back on its pedestal and grabs hold of another one. For real, though, what are you doing? I'm trying to find a new ball. My old one is a bit worn. Why don't you pick a random one? Not like you get to play with your own ball during matches. Exactly. That's why I'm trying to find something as close to standard issue as possible. If you get a ball that's too light or too heavy, it'll mess with my game. Plus, there's always the matter of durability. What's even the point if you only practice at school either way? Well, I need to have a practice partner to train my setups. Unfortunately, the store doesn't sell practice partners. It does, however, sell balls, which I can at least use to practice my serve. You know, you should stop refining your serve already. That thing's scary enough as is. He shrugs. I figure I'm already golden on the accuracy front, but my serve isn't really all that potent yet. You kidding? Your arm's a friggin' cannon! Hiya. Can't hurt to improve. Me scoring a ton of service aces can't end up hurting our chances in the inter-high. Are you sure you're not trying to do everything on your own? Now you're trying to score all the points by yourself. Not all the points. Just as many as I can. You say potato. I say potato. He chuckles, giving me a small pat on the back. Don't worry. I promise I'm not biting off more than I can chew. It's just that practicing is fun. For you, at least. It's always a wonder seeing how many players come out from your court barely able to walk after you handle practice. Oh, come on, that's not fair. I'm not that strict on them. Didn't you have 4 first years quitting on the first week this year? Well, look, I won't say anything, okay? Just try to match up to your teammates' pace before you end up killing someone. Will do. Oh, hey, this ball is pretty close to what I want. He never changes, does he? Poor choice of words. Very poor choice of words. 20 minutes later. Hiya. Are we all set? Everyone got what they needed? Yep. Yeah. I wasn't really looking for anything. Well, good. Then we're all done with shopping. Just in time, too. How about we head to the diner? Oh, good. I was starting to get really hungry. No wonder. It's almost 1 p.m. Plus, we've been walking around for a while. I wonder how full the diner must be right now. It's lunchtime on a Saturday. I think it's safe to assume the place will be packed. No problem. Texted Saya a while ago and asked her to save us a seat right around 1 p.m. But we have to get there soon. Don't want her to get in trouble with her bosses for it. You're craftier than I gave you credit for, Urata. Glad you're finally taking note of my talents. Oh, please, any 5-year-old with a cell phone could have done that. Could've, should've, would've, didn't. Can we please just hurry to the diner? I don't really like being outside in the crowd. Oh god, not this again. Jun's tail is lashing rapidly from one side to the other, and I can see him slowly walking over towards me. My arm is still recovering from the last death grip. Okay, people, hurry up. This is a matter of life or death. The diner is completely packed, with the waitresses running around to try and serve all customers in a timely manner. No matter how hard I look, I can't find Saya or an empty seat. What? Damn, I knew it'd be full, but I wasn't expecting it to be like this. Ah, there you are. Saya shows up from behind a huge group of people and hurries to us. I've got to give it to her. She moves very gracefully among all these stacks of chairs. Yo, Saya-chan, any luck of saving us a table? Of course I got one. It's close to the back, though. It was the only way to keep new customers from taking it. Come on, follow me. Saya guides us through a giant labyrinth of chairs and people. Walking through this mess is a lot harder than she makes it seem. I almost trip on someone's tail or feet or chair quite a few times. Okay, so I actually did make one. There you go. It's hard to avoid bumping into others. We reach a small table for 4 right next to the entrance to the kitchen and are seated. Saya doesn't waste her time pulling out a notepad to take in our order. Hello, masters. Thank you for joining us today. Sorry about the wait. Do you guys know what you want to order? Okay, this was funny the first time, but it's gotten old already. Please don't do that. Agreed. Aw, I like it. It's weird to see Mizuguchi-san talking like that. It just doesn't fit the image I have of her in my mind. Sai's entire body relaxes and she takes a deep sigh. Oh Christ, thank God! My face is already tired from all this smiling. So you guys know what you'll have? Hiya. I'm sorry, but Saya is the strongest out of all of them. Please choose quickly, though. My boss only let me hold a table empty for 15 minutes because I promised her I'd get you guys in and served as fast as humanly possible. Well, I guess since we don't have much time to be picky, I'll go with a regular burger and fries. Same here. It's been a while since the last time I ate a good burger. Same for me. Wow, so much for originality. Give me a burger and fries, too. Alright, thanks for the help, guys. I'll come by to ask about drinks when the burgers are close to coming out. Kage? Kei-chan, Yu-chan, it is 4 p.m. Time for your daily matches. Sure, thanks for saving us a table. You got it. Be right back. Sai takes a few seconds to breathe in and turns her moact back on, walking into the crowd of awaiting patrons. Well, can't say she's not good at her job. Yep, I was expecting her to be a comically useless waitress, but she's actually very competent. Could do without the act, though. You mean you don't like the maids? That's so mean of you, master. What? Jun suddenly tries to imitate the same cute act that Sai had been employing. Destructive power is off of the charts. Well, you're pretty good at this too, Jun-kun. Maybe you've got talent for this job. You should definitely be a maid. What? But I'm a guy. Just imagine how cute he'd look in a maid costume. Ah! Pervert! I'm sitting with a huge pervert! Oh, shut up. I'm just kidding. Really? You swear? Yes, I promise that I'm not picturing you in a maid costume. Okay. I totally am, though. It's too good to ignore. By the way, do any of you know when the Lunar Festival is going to be held this year? June. Why? My father and his usual eccentricity. He decided to buy a booth area for this year's festival and wants me to tend to it. What? Why would he do that? I told one of the female servants that one of my friends is also a maid at a cafe, and that somehow got reported to my father. And for some reason that's beyond me, he says I too should have an experience with customer service. To keep you humble, he said. Why aren't you in uniform? Because you growled at me. That's not a bad idea, actually. The reasoning is all over the place, but it's not a bad idea. It sounds interesting enough. You think you'll actually go through with it? Who knows? My father jumps from idea to idea with no rhyme or reason. He'll likely be on a completely different, albeit equally weird venture by this time tomorrow. He can't really be all that bad. He once bought a pair of mustache glasses and started wearing them around the house for a month. No reason for it. He just said he wanted to try a new style. Okay, so he's a bit peculiar. Nothing bad about that, if you say so. I just don't like getting involved in his crazy ideas. He makes the weirdest purchases and investments I've ever seen. Don't they always work, though? I've read a few magazine articles about him that said he'd buy stocks and investments no one else would because they were clearly failing, only for the market to turn around and for it to actually become hugely popular. Yeah, that actually happened. My father's business sense is scary, to say the least. I don't even question him on his purchases anymore, because somehow he always seems to be right. Maybe it's insider trading? I actually thought that too, but it wouldn't really make sense. He's way too random for it to be that. Maybe he just acts weird and throws people off his track. If that's true, then he's a goddamned evil mastermind. Hey, Rushihara, I just realized something. You've never talked about your mother before. There's not much to talk about. She was a common woman who used to work on my father's company and got involved with him. When she got pregnant of me, he sent her away to take care of me by herself. His wife divorced him, and he didn't find a new one, so he ended up taking me in when I was little to inherit the company. Of course, that all means nothing. Nothing if he has another son. In that case, I'd just be cast out and the new kid would inherit everything. Oh wow, that's awful! Your father actually told you he'd do that? Not really, but it was implicit. Plus, it's not like I care anyway. I never wanted to take over his company in the first place. Well, you certainly seem nonchalant about it. So I guess that's our thing now? We share stories about our fucked up households? Oh, why don't you tell us yours then? I've never heard you talk about your father. Did he skip out on you? How about we avoid the depressing conversations for now? This isn't exactly dinner table conversation. All I know about it is that you basically raised your brother yourself, didn't you? You're just ignoring me? Yeah, since my dad wasn't around, I took care of Aki whenever mom wasn't home. Hey, don't you start ignoring me too! Sorry, Shoichi, I'm fine though. Honestly, it's not like it was a bad thing either. Aki and I are really close thanks to it. You mean to say that you're a super brocon, right? Ew, don't say that. Just hearing those words coming out of your mouth makes me queasy. Heh, sure. I haven't met your brother yet. Oh, Aki? You'd like him. Total opposite of this lazy bum. Nowadays, it's hard to tell which one is the older brother. It's just casual. Just shut up. You can clearly tell I'm the oldest. Yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure your brother takes up after your mom. Super responsible and mature. I have a hard time believing he's a 12-year-old. Plus, Aki's hella cute. He's definitely going to be a heartbreaker when he's older. God, I hope not. He's too nice for that. Still's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Who's also broken more hearts than I have won. Well, what do you mean? Yuichi-san is a heartbreaker? Ah, that's right. I sometimes forget you're new. Yuichi-san doesn't know how to say no to people he's not familiar with. He's got the super desire to please strangers, and he's also pretty popular with the girls to boot. He basically gets asked out by a girl, can't say no, dates her for a couple of weeks, slowly stops talking to her and answering her until she breaks up with him. Classic modus operandi. That's not... The frightening part is that he still gets girls confessing to him despite him having a reputation as a player. A very ill-gained one at that. I am most certainly not a player. Not just girls either. He had a guy confess to him once last year. Whoa, did you go out with him too? What? No, of course not. I turned him down flat out. I actually saw the confession. You hesitated. Of course I hesitated. Didn't you get the memo? I can't say no to people. I have a strong urge to slap these two for laughing at me like this. What's up, June? Oh, it's just that it sounds a little unfair. What do you mean? For the girls who confess to you, having you say yes to them should mean you feel the same. So if you accept their feelings only to slowly cut off contact until they break up with you, it sounds like you're dealing more damage than you would if you just said no. I hadn't thought of it like that. That's because you never think things through. I told you multiple times that you should start turning them down, but you don't listen. Well, at least it gives you something to think about. Yeah. Oh god, what have I done? Hey guys, I'm back. Oh, Yuichi, what's wrong with your face? I was born with it. No, not that. You look upset. Did something happen? Well, Oh no, wait, I don't have time to chat. We're packed up. Sorry, I'll talk to you later. I just came by to ask about drinks. What will you guys have? You guys suck. Again, sorry, but we're really busy right now. Anyway, drinks. You guys having them? Well, those burgers were actually pretty good. Even though the place was jam-packed, the kitchen still managed to get our food out in record time. I also need to give Saya props for how well she deals with everything. Her service is excellent, even when the house is full. I told you before, the food here is excellent. That's why I come here so often. Sure, that's why. Mizuguchi's son should be out any minute now, right? She hasn't shown up in the front of the house for a while now. I think she's gone to the back to have her lunch and leave. Well, either way, we've already finished eating, so we shouldn't hold this table if we're not going to order anything anymore. That's true. Let's just pay the bill and wait out front. We vacate our table and make our way to the cashier table to make our payment. Make it up to you, Miki. Don't worry about it so much, Saya-chan. You've covered for me a bunch of times before, and I never did anything to thank you for it. Saya is already here by the time we arrive. She spots us approaching and smiles at us. Oh, hey, guys. You outdone? Yeah, we were coming over to pay the bill. Oh, sure. Miki, their table totaled 5,850 yen. Alright, thanks, Saya-chan. Whoa, you got our table memorized? Heh, I have all my tables memorized. I am excellent at my job, after all. Saya has great memory, so it's no wonder. Let me handle payment. You guys just pay me back later. Shoichi walks up to the cashier and starts chatting with her. So, what do you guys have planned for today? I canceled a shift for it, so it better be good. Shoichi didn't tell you? We're going to the park to watch the cherry blossoms. Ooh, flower seeing, how romantic. It'd have been a lot better if we had made a picnic, though. Sure, eat whilst a bunch of flower petals fall on your food and drinks. Talk about romantic. You're such a spoil sport, Kei-chan. Don't call me Kei-chan. Anyway, I like it. It sounds like it'll be fun. No, it doesn't. Oh, shut up. You're dead inside anyway. Jeez, I'm not even allowed to have an opinion anymore. Okay, all done. You guys ready to go? Yeah, lead the way. Outside the diner, a comfortable breeze blows. I close my eyes and enjoy the comfortable wind ruffling my fur. This really is a godsend in this particularly hot day. June notices it too, letting his fur flutter against the wind. Well, the weather sure took a nice turn all of a sudden. It's the world telling us it likes our plans. Well, I certainly don't mind Whoa! Someone comes running off the street and bumps into me. What? Careful! Shoichi reacts fast and grabs me before I can fall into the ground. The other person isn't lucky. Hey, watch where you're going. Ow, ow, ow. Fallen on the ground is a small Akita girl, rubbing her back with a painful expression on her face. Are you alright? Here, let me help. Saya extends a helping hand and the girl takes hold of it, propping herself up. Thanks, and you! Watch where you're going! What if I had gotten seriously hurt? What? But You're the one who should watch it. What are you doing running around in the middle of the street? Of course you're going to bump into someone. You should be the one apologizing. What? But I'm so much smaller than he... As soon as her eyes focus on me, they go wide. You! Her expression immediately turns sharp and she points at me with a yell. You know her? Not that I recall. Wow, I can't believe I'd run into you here. Talk about an interesting turn of events. Mikiko, wait! Another Akita runs towards us from the crowd. He stops dead in his tracks when he sees the girl and walks up to her with a look of concern. Damn it, Mikiko! I told you not to go running off on your own. What if you ended up bumping up... Oh, you're talking to someone. Are these people you know? Not really. Your friend there came running and crashed into my friend here. What? Jeez, Mikiko! I told you this was going to happen. Ah, whatever. Look, you! Look who it is! She points at me, euphoric. I have to take a step back because her finger nearly jabs me in the face. Hiya. Whoa, careful there! The boy follows her pointing finger, and as soon as his eyes fall on my face... Ah! See? What did I tell you? I'm sorry. What the hell is going on here? The boy seems to completely ignore me. I never thought I'd run into you in the middle of the street. I wanted to meet you in person for the longest time. You're a lot bigger than I thought you'd be. Though I guess that makes sense. Do you guys know Yuichi from somewhere? I sure do. He's been my idol for the longest time. I can't wait to meet you again. That's going to be loads of fun. Wish I could stay and chat, but we're actually late. Come on, Mikiko. We have to hurry. But aren't you going to do a declaration of war or something? Don't be silly. There's no need for that. See you at the end of the month, Michi-Mia-san. Bye. He grabs the girl's wrist and drags her along the crowd as she kicks and protests. Wait, I didn't get your name. Well, that was odd. You think he was someone who knew about you as a tennis player? Had to be. There's no other logical explanation for what happened. What just happened isn't logical no matter how you try to explain it. Ah! We all jump in surprise as we hear Keikun shouting from behind us. Once he notices our reaction, he quickly apologizes. Oh, sorry, but that doesn't matter right now. I knew that guy was familiar to me. You know who Marushihara-san? Yeah, I do. He's a rising star in the world of tennis. 1 year younger than me, so he should be a first year in high school by now. He was an unknown until 2 years ago. So I'm not surprised you haven't heard of him. Oh, so when he said see you at the end of the month, he must have meant the prefecturals. Yeah, must have been that. His name is Yuya Kokonose. To say he's a genius is to put it mildly. He's the sort of guy who plays completely by instinct. That's not real. There's not real logic behind what he does, and he adapts to everything you do crazy fast too. He's the sort of player I hate playing against the most. Huh. That description reminds me of someone, actually. Shoichi looks at me. Keisuke and Saya follow his gaze, nodding along. Fits the bill spot on, if I must say. Yeah, he's definitely very similar to Yuichi-san. The biggest difference between you two is that his style is more explosive? I don't really know how to put it. Even if you don't focus too much on strategy, you're always still trying to come up with a way to avoid your opponent's strengths and play to their own weaknesses. He doesn't. He willingly plays against them in their own game to let himself adapt, and he's crazy fast too. You can be completely crushing him one game, and then get the tables completely reversed on you in the next one. I've played against him 3 times and haven't won once. You think he'd be trouble for Yuichi if they ended up playing each other? It's hard to say. If he's still the same way he was 2 years ago when I last played him, I'd say no, but I doubt he is. Shoichi puts a hand on my shoulder. Well, I guess that just means you have one more rival to worry about. As if I didn't have enough already. He gives me a reassuring smile, though it doesn't really do much to take my mind off of it. Yuya Kokonose, huh? A player just like me? If we end up playing each other, that might end up as an interesting twist of fate. Not that I believe in those things, of course. Guys? Yeah? Don't we still have to take a train to the park? Doesn't it have a fixed schedule? Oh shit, that's right. Come on, we're gonna have to run to the station. What? No buts or we're gonna lose it! Didn't what just happened teach you guys anything about running in the street? Thank the gods for warm water. A good bath is all I needed today. God, how my bed looks inviting right now. Sheesh, I feel drained even though we didn't do much today. Well, I guess we ended up running around a lot. Aniki, I found the videos you asked me to look for. Thanks, Aki. I'll be down in just a second. No rest for the wicked, I suppose. Aki's on the couch fiddling around with the laptop and plugging it into the TV. What's with a sudden interest in other players? I ran into the guy on the street today and one of my friends told me he might be trouble, so I just got curious. Well, from what I saw in the video, I don't think he will. But then again, the video is from last year. He turns on the TV and it immediately opens to a paused video of a tennis court. The quality isn't all that great, but then again, this was taken from a phone. He presses the play button as the screen comes to life. In it, I see the image of a certain Akita as he runs around returning all of his opponent's shots. Go you! Yuya, you can do it! Yukun, I love you! Yukun, go out with me! What? He seems to be insanely popular. He reminds me a bit of you, actually. His style is very similar, too. I can see that. I guess he wasn't kidding when he said I was his idol. Did he base his playstyle around imitating mine, or is it just coincidence? Well, either way, I don't think there's much for you to worry about. He's good, but his shots lack power. He's not as precise and his footwork is crude. When did you become an expert on the subject? Oh, please, I've been watching you since I was a kid. Of course I can tell the difference between the imitation and the real thing. Huh. Still. Something about this guy bothers me, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Well, you can stay here watching the vid if you want. I'm going out with friends tomorrow morning, so I'm crashing early. Good night. Yeah, night, Aki. I run my hand around his head, ruffling his fur. He gives me a warm smile and goes back upstairs. Why do you make me feel so uneasy? Well, I guess I don't have much more to gain from staring at this video. As Aki pointed out, his style is basically a carbon copy of mine, taken down a few pegs. I don't see any reason to worry, and yet... I turn off the TV and the laptop. Guess I'm off to bed. Monday, April 17th, day 8. The bell rings announcing the start of homeroom. Or at least it should. Most students just look around the class uncomfortably, as Shima-sensei is, again, absent. Again? What is this? The 4th time this month? Some of the students begin to chat among themselves. Some complaining, others just taking this as an opportunity to kick back and relax. Regardless, the classroom starts becoming more and more rowdy as time passes by. Don't be so critical, Kyo-chan. He might just be running a little late, or he might have had something to deal with. Still, don't you think multiple times a month is a little bit much? Plus, he always nags if someone is a little bit late. Well... Oi, Jin, you're eating in class again? Put those chips away. But Shima-sensei isn't here yet, so what's the problem? The problem is that you're covering your table with crumbs. Again! At least avoid making a mess. Oh, sorry. Jeez, they really are a rowdy bunch. Well, most of them. And still the thing that bothers me the most is the missing tiger boy. Not this again. I'm getting flashbacks from last week already. Oro? Yuichi-kun, is Kobayashi-kun going to be late today again? Man, he only got transferred here last week, but I already feel like he's late more often than not. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I wonder what excuse he's going to give me this time. Just as my mind begins to wander, the sound of the door being opened whisks me back to reality. I turn around to look and... Eh? Oh, Katsuragi-sensei. What brings you by? Class rep immediately gets up to greet her. As always, she's quick to wear a smile on her face, looking ever so warm and gentle. Ah! Kitsunegawa-chan, just who I was hoping to see. Come here with me for a second. She beckons Rep to her, and she quickly follows. They both shut the door just as they go outside. A bunch of students immediately press themselves against the door, trying to listen in on their conversation. What are you guys even doing? They'll eventually tell us what this is about anyway. Shh! If you're not going to join in, then at least avoid spoiling the fun. Of course, Jinichiro is among them. I'm not even surprised. Fun? What's fun about pressing myself against a door together with 10-something other guys and risking being caught just to hear some boring news about... Ooh, it looks like there's a new student transferring here today. The entire class immediately stands at attention. The students that had been sitting in their chairs, minding their own business, are immediately drawn into the peeking. What? Really? 2 weeks after class has started? What? Looks like he's coming from Europe. Yeah, maybe he's going to be some supermodel transferring here because he got a job in Japan. What? Hang on a second. Who said it's going to be a guy? It's totally going to be a chick. I'm calling it. Ugh, gross. You ever think of putting the moves on the transfer student? You're just thinking the same thing. Was not. The class immediately erupts in chatter about the latest gossip. What's so exciting about this anyway? Aren't you people just getting a bit too nosy? A bit too carried away? Hey, settle down, will ya? I can really hear what they're... Most of the students that were peeking through the door immediately scurry to their seats as they hear something on the other side. Poor Jin, on the other hand, wasn't listening and he falls face first to the floor as soon as the door is opened. Katsuragi-sensei is standing next to the door, staring strictly at the mouse that just fell to her feet. Class rep is standing next to her, face-palming. Jin. Her tone is dry and full of disappointment. Although knowing her, I'm sure she's disappointed at him being caught instead of at him spying on their conversation. You can barely hear what they're... Wah! Is that what you were trying to say, Nezumiro-kun? Hello, Katsuragi-sensei. She gives him a cold smile, a smile capable of sending shivers down the spine of whomever she directs it at. You will see me after class. She says it simply, as if she were telling him the time of day. Jinichiro immediately slumps on the ground, tears welling up in his eyes as if he were an anime character. Yes, ma'am. So pathetic. Katsuragi-sensei smiles, patting Rep on the shoulder. Well, I'll trust that you will take care of this for me. Right, Kitsunegawa-chan? Yes, ma'am. She waves us goodbye as she walks down the corridor, back to the faculty office. The class rep looks down at the floor at Jinichiro, who is still sobbing like a child. Oh, come on, Jin. Jin, get up from the floor already. That's pathetic. She said it! She straight up said it! That's so rude! Have some pity on me, for Christ's sake! He immediately springs up from the floor. No, it's your fault for getting caught. You should have known something like this would happen. You're a devil woman! Well, someone seems to have bounced back really fast. As expected of the class rep, she knows how to provoke people very easily. Guys, can I have your attention for a second? She walks to the front of the class and everyone goes quiet to pay attention. Even Jin gets back to his seat, still huffing and kicking, but he sits quietly nonetheless. The entire class is filled with expectation. I guess the talk of an overseas student really got everyone excited. Everyone, listen up. Katsuragi-sensei wanted me to tell you guys that Shima-sensei has called in sick today, so we will be doing free studies during homeroom. Still, no one is allowed to leave the classroom. That is all. The room is enveloped in a different kind of silence now that everyone's expectations were broken. Confusion had settled in. Wait a sec, what about the transfer student? Transfer student? Don't play dumb! We know we heard her talking about a foreign student. What are you talking about? Ayako, is there really no transfer student? Seems like the whole class is invested in this idea of a transfer student. Even Kyoko, who usually keeps herself separated from our class's usual intrigue, is curious about it. This is the first time I've heard of it. Sensei didn't mention anything like that to me. Seriously? Aw, and I was so looking forward to meeting the foreign student. The murmurs of disappointment become so loud that it's like one giant wail coming from our class. A few years later, our class would be inducted into our school's 7 great mysteries as the wailing class. Legend would go that anyone to hear these sounds would have their soul taken away to the afterlife in 3 days. Just kidding. Class rep watches it for a few seconds before clearing her throat again, drawing attention back to herself. Well, either way, you guys already know what to do. So either you study like you're supposed to, or at least keep your voices down so as to not distract the ones who will. Her icy glare is enough to make most people flinch. Well, she didn't become class representative on good looks alone. She's very good at discipline and demanding respect. In a matter of seconds, the entire class immediately separates into 2 groups. Those who are actually working/studying, and those who are playing around. I, myself, have no idea what to do. June isn't around, so I can't just talk to him. Although, admittedly, I'd probably end up tutoring him. If there's one thing I learned about the Tiger since he joined, is that he's academically terrible. I have to make sure he doesn't fail. Maybe I could tag along with someone else. Which one? Poor June, not a single thought behind his eyes. Unless it's about Final Fantasy. Oh, we're going to be studying? Okay. Haha, choosing goes... I guess I really should put in a little bit more work. My grades used to be so much higher before. Right now I'm just barely above a passing grade. Not that I particularly care about it, but I suppose if I want June to listen to me when I tell him to study, I should give a better example. I approach the table where the 2 are quietly taking notes and reviewing material for the class we should have had. Class rep seems to spot me coming over to them from the corner of her eye. Yuichi-kun, hey! She gives me a cheerful greeting and leans back on her chair to look at me. Kyoko continues to scribble onto her notebook, not bothering to look at me and not acknowledging my presence with more than a passing hi. Huh. That's very interesting. Yeah. That. Not that I can be picky about how I get treated. I am intruding on their study session after all. What can I do for you, Yuichi? Anything you need? Not really. I was wondering if I could join you guys. Study group, maybe? She smiles widely as she hears this, scooting her chair a little bit to the side to give me more space. Oh, sure, please do. And are you okay with this, Kyoko-san? She finally looks up from her notes, smiling politely at me. Sure, as long as you agree to tutor me on the subject. Ayako might have a lot of enthusiasm, but she sucks at history. But hey, at least I'm trying here. And yes, she still consistently gets among the top 10 scores for our grade. Sure, let me give this a cursory reading and I'll see what I can do. I grab my own study materials from my desk and pull up a chair to theirs, using the space they left open for me. Yuichi-kun, do you know anything about Norse mythology? I thought we were studying Greek. What's with Shima-sensei anyway? Isn't this class supposed to be about Japanese history? Careful. If Shima-sensei knew that you'd be saying that, he'd put you on the spot like he did June last week. Shima-sensei is a nice guy, but he has this weird fixation with Western mythology. What was the name of that giant snake god again? Fenrir? No, Fenrir is the wolf son of Loki. The serpent is Jormungandr, and he's not a god. He's one of the 3 monstrous children of Loki, 2 of which are responsible for bringing Ragnarok. Ragnarok? The Norse equivalent of the apocalypse. Well, sort of. The world doesn't exactly end with Ragnarok. How do you know all this? You don't even pay attention in class half the time. Norse mythology is kind of a staple in gaming, so I got interested and researched it. Same for Greek, Egyptian, Babylonian, Irish. Alright, I got it. You know a lot of mythologies. Kyoko starts flipping through her notes in frustration. This is stupid. Why can't we be studying feudal Japan? I actually know that crap. I'd expect you to. We've been studying that since elementary school. At least mythology is interesting. Definitely a lot more than hearing about who killed Benkei or the feats of Yoshitsune. Oh, sure. Hearing about how a male Norse god shapeshifted into a mare, mated with a stallion, and gave birth to an 8-legged horse that was turned into said god's father's mount is certainly more interesting. If anything happens to everyone, it happens to everyone at some point. Am I right? Okay, you got me beat there. Kudos to you for remembering the whole thing, though. Kyoko sighs, her shoulders sagging forward. It's both the most absurd and disgusting thing I've heard in my life. I wish I could forget it. Yeah, the Nordic people certainly weren't lacking in the imagination department. No shortage in the perversion department either. It's not that bad. Old Japanese folklore tends to be pretty out there too. Oh, really? I challenge you to find something as bad as this. Well, actually, never mind. Knowing you, you probably would, and my mind is chock full of disgusting myths already. Ayako smiles at her remark. It is interesting, though. Well, if you're done ranting, then. Yuichi-kun, can you explain this myth here to me? Which one? The Minotaur. Ah, so it's Greek mythology now. We spend the rest of homeroom working in silence. I somehow wind up tutoring them in most of the stuff I still know about the subject, which turns out to be a lot. Guess I won't have to work very hard for my history subject this year. Still need to play that game. A few hours later. Morning. Asu. Shoichi and Saya stroll in through the open door, walking towards our usual lunch-eating spot. Huh? Where's Jun-kun? He's a no-show today. Tried messaging him, but I didn't have any luck. Shoichi pulls up a chair and quickly sits on it, placing his lunchbox gingerly on the table. I wonder if something happened to him. Saya quickly follows suit, opening up her lunchbox to unveil a poorly organized mess of a lunch. It looks like the whole thing was tossed around and dug into before being closed. Definitely 0 points for presentation. There it is. Whatever the hell this is, lunchbox. What is in there today? Seafood? Ding ding ding, we have a winner. But seriously, why should I care if my food is messy? It's all gonna get mixed up in my stomach either way. Oh shit, I forgot to go look into that. Wolf children, I forgot to look into that. Oh shit, that's cool. It's also going to turn into shit inside your body anyway. Does that mean you'd eat shit to speed up the process? Can we please not talk about eating shit during lunchtime? Sorry. Shoichi huffs grumpily, grabbing his pair of chopsticks and quickly separating two. He opens the lid to his lunchbox, revealing a very well organized and pretty looking lunch. The contrast between the two sitting side by side is so stark it nearly makes me laugh. Well, that and the way Saya is looking at it. Saya eyes his food with desire, looking back and forth between her own lunchbox and his. Shokun, No. He cuts her down before she even has time to finish her sentence. At least let me finish talking. I already know what you're going to ask me. Are you really sure of that? I might have wanted to ask you something completely different. Different from what? From asking for your lunchbox. See? That's what you were going to ask me. Shoichi is crazy good with words sometimes. He quickly got her to admit this is what she was planning from the start. Oh, come on. Yours is a girl's lunchbox. Wouldn't it suit me better? If it really is a girl's lunchbox, the last person at this table that should have it is you. Oh, come on. Pretty please? From negotiating to pleading, Saya sure is quick to discard her dignity. I already said no, just eat your food. Yet Shoichi doesn't budge. He calmly ignores her, lazily munching on his food. You're so stingy. I should ask Hitoka-chan to pack my lunch for me too. Please don't try to take advantage of my little sister. What's the big deal? She packs a lunchbox for you. I don't ask her to. She just does it because she wants to, and I eat it because I don't want to upset her. Are you saying you wouldn't eat it otherwise? No, of course I'd eat it. Hitoka's food is delicious. Well, she lives with her mother, so it was either learning how to cook or dying of food poison. That's true. Hey, at least someone in the family can cook. Shoichi's attention quickly snaps to me. He sits in his spot, blinking in confusion at my statement. What do you mean? What about me? Oh shit, I let it slip. Sai immediately freezes up as she notices my blunder. No, I mean in the household, yeah. I meant that at least someone in that house knows how to cook. You know, since you don't live with them, you don't count. Shit. Was it too obvious? That's true. You could certainly see it that way. Sai and I breathe out a collective sigh of relief. Thank God you're gullible, Shoichi. Oh, I almost forgot. Did you guys hear the news yet? Oh yeah, that's true. Katsuragi-sensei came over to our class this morning to tell us. You mean about Shima-sensei being sick, right? Yeah, and that came as a shock to me too. Class rep shows up out of nowhere, putting a hand on Shoichi's shoulder. Though she has a gentle smile on her face, her voice sounds oddly stern. They both look around awkwardly at each other for a few seconds. Class rep walks behind Shoichi, putting her hands on his shoulder and leaning on him a bit. Right, Shokun? Ow, ow, ow! Hey, Ako-chan, you're hurting me! She wears a sweet smile on her face, but her hands are squeezing Shoichi's shoulder so hard that I'm afraid she'll puncture him with her claws. I give up, I give up! Shoichi taps her arms frantically, like a wrestler tapping out of a fight he can't win. Well, anyway, I'm glad you guys heard the news. Bye! She merrily walks out of the classroom, skipping on her step. What was that about? I thought I was going to die. I wonder if something happened to Aya-chan today. Seriously? Is no one worried about me right now? Saya waves him off. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You're such jerks. The sound of the door echoes. Ah! June walks through the door. I'm so shocked by his sudden appearance that I'm left unable to react as the tiger plops down on his chair. Wow, are you okay, Kobayashi-kun? You don't look so hot. I'm fine. Really, you don't look fine. You look like crap. No offense. OMG, hi June. None taken. He rummages through his bag, pulling out his own lunchbox. He looks at it for a few seconds with a sour expression, eventually shoving it back into his bag and setting it down on the floor. You're not going to eat? I don't have much of an appetite right now. June slumps down on his table. What happened today that's got you so down? My competition's tomorrow. Remember? Oh, is that... Shoichi jabs me square on my ribs with his open hand. Jesus' hand feels like a knife stabbing right through me. Ow. I painfully rub my side as Shoichi glares at me. It's fine, Shoichi-san. I already expected Yuichi-san to forget anyway. Ah! Oh, fuck! The way I said it made it transparent that I'd forgotten about it. Sorry, June. I swear I was going to go watch you. Honest. And there's no point anyway. I've been forbidden from taking part by my parents. What? Why? I've gotten a little ill recently, and they decided it'd be better if I didn't push myself. Okay, I'll be back. I'm running to the store. I gotta get ginger, garlic, turmeric, chicken, fresh herbs, couscous, and that's it. Because we're making June soup! June, you're getting soup! The tourniquet kitty is sick. Shoichi, I swear to God, if you even look at this soup, your eyeballs will be mine. Is it that again? June nods. The expression in his face is so strained. That? What's that? Oh, how do I put it? I had to take Jun-kun to the infirmary last week because of a spike in blood pressure caused by stress. He got dizzy and felt lightheaded, and that triggered a panic attack, so he couldn't breathe. June stares at Shoichi in amazement, completely bewildered by his words. Oh, okay. June, do you need a hug? Just bring it in. You have excellent memory, Shoichi-san. I try. Anyway, they're really going to keep you from participating because of that, then? Yeah, said I wasn't allowed to touch the piano until the doctor okayed me again. They're afraid I'll relapse. It's bullshit. Hug the kitty. Hug the tourniquet kitty. Whoa. Never thought I'd live to see the day when a cuss word would come out of your mouth. I'm really pissed, so don't be surprised. Sai starts patting him on the back, talking to him with a sweet, gentle voice. Aw, there. You'll feel better soon, I promise. Mizuguchi-san, I'm not a child. Really? Because you certainly act like one sometimes. I guess I can't disagree with that. Oh, so he does have some self-awareness. Aren't you guys supposed to be trying to make me feel better? We are, but teasing you is too much fun. You suck. I'm just joking around. I'm just joking to try to get you to lighten up. The face. Shoichi runs his fingers through Jun's head fur for a few seconds. Then he starts vigorously tussling it. Lighten up a little, will ya? Shoichi-san, stop it! Aren't you two cute together? Jun smiles, drumming his fingers on the table. You know, I could just go to the competition anyway. Without your parents' approval? It's not like they can stop me from going on stage anyway. I'm old enough to make decisions for myself. Sorry to burst your bubble, but the age of majority is 20 years old. Not 19. Gah! You could just show up there without saying anything and perform as if nothing happened. I mean, I don't think your parents will have told the staff about you not participating anymore. Oh, that's true. Don't give him ideas. Oh, come on. He's old enough to know what he wants to do. I'm not telling him he should do it, but if he cares more about participating in the competition than caring for his health, what's it to you? But he... Fine. He can do whatever he wants. You're right. Saya blinks multiple times in confusion. That's weird. You're usually self-righteous to a fault. I was looking forward to arguing with you. It's no fun if you just lie down and take it. Why did you turn into Urushihara? She smiles, shrugging in delight. I understand why he does it. Antagonizing you is loads of fun. But no, just his blank stare. Fuck. His blank stare. To borrow a phrase from Jun, you suck. Saya laughs, snorting every now and then. Oh, good, you're all here. Keisuke walks into the room carrying a thick magazine in his hands. Kei-chan, what are you doing here? Take a look at this. He throws the magazine on the center of the table, nearly knocking down some of our food. It's this month's copy of Saitama's Spo Mag, and look what it says on the cover. Let's see, it's... Sai gasps, picking up the magazine and nearly shoving her face in it. Eh? What is it? Something wrong? It's you! Yuichi-kun! You're on the cover of the magazine! What? Give me that! I snatch the copy away from her hand and examine it myself. Shoichi and Jun try scooting closer to see it as well, and I can't help but feel a bit claustrophobic. Oh, okay, have fun. It's true! The cover says Rising Star Month. They dedicated this edition to writing articles about promising athletes in multiple fields. That's pretty cool, actually. That's not all either. Look inside. We all got our own articles. Even me. Oh, wow. Gimme. He snatches out of my hand and starts flipping through the pages excitedly. Hey, I wasn't done with that! Shh! Aha! Found mine. Let's see, what does it say? Scouts will want to be keeping an eye on this 18-year-old Shoichi Urata, who should be graduating from high school this year. Urata has become well known as one of Japan's best setters, and has received the Saitama Best Setter Award 3 times in a row already. Urata's superior precision as a setter, coupled with a varied offensive repertoire, makes him the foundation of his team's attack. Many professional teams have expressed an interest in scouting him after he is finished with his studies. When approached for an interview, Setter Urata declined to comment. That's odd. I don't remember being approached for an interview. Let's see what else is here. Even so, we firmly believe that Setter Urata has a bright future ahead of him if he chooses to pursue a career in volleyball. And it wouldn't be at all unthinkable if he became the face of Japan's national team sometime in the near future, as he... Alright, that's enough. Quick hogging the spotlight. I want to see my article, too. Keisuke takes the magazine forcefully from Shoichi. What? Didn't you already read yours? At least let me finish mine! I didn't. As soon as I saw it, I came over to show you guys. Learn to share. Let's see. Keisuke Urushihara was already a very discussed name in the media as the young aspiring athlete is also the heir of the multimillionaire Urushihara Corporation. While he has been toiling behind Michimiya for a while, we have seen some steady climb in his national rank, and many believe he might soon make a breakthrough. Urushihara's style is based around strategy and analysis, and many have compared his superior tactics to Japan's #1 player, Takagi Tanabe, who's stayed as #1 in Japan for the past 3 years. Only the future will tell what we can expect from this young athlete, but we have high hopes for him. Not only that... Alright, that's enough. Give it back now! The two start wrestling for the magazine, pulling on it on a childish dispute of tug-of-war. Stop behaving like kids. I don't care. I want to finish reading my article. It's my magazine. I'm the one who bought it. I get to read mine first. Guys, you're making too much. Shut up! Shut it! The two continue to struggle for the magazine. Eventually, just as we all already expected, Shoichi wins and takes the magazine from Keisuke. The result was already pretty obvious, considering how much stronger Shoichi is. But Keikun's hand slips and Shoichi loses his balance when the magazine is suddenly released. He stumbles back on his seat and ends up hitting Jun square in the face with the magazine. Okay! Let's go. Keisuke, let's go. Let's go. Square up. Square up. Square up, Keisuke. I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna kick your ass. Ow. What? Jun-kun, are you alright? Settle down, it's just a magazine. You're not gonna break his nose with that. But I could have hit him in the eye. What if he... Jun gives him a few taps on the shoulder, rubbing his nose with a pained expression. Shoichi-san, I'm fine. Just please don't hit me in the face anymore. Yes. Jun grabs hold of the magazine in Shoichi's hand and takes it away from him. He does it so gently and smoothly that Shoichi doesn't even register it at first. But hey! I want to read the article on Yuichi-san. He's on the cover, so I imagine he must have a much more detailed article. And remember, you did just hit him in the face with the damn thing. At least let him use it as he wants to. That's fair. Wait, but that's my... Shh! Saya calmly shuts him down before he has the chance to really say anything. Saitama's very own rising star, Yuichi Michimiya, is set to have his professional debut at the end of this year. With many people anxious to see how he performs in his last year in the junior rankings, as that could set the tone for the beginning of his career. Despite a few setbacks in later years and having some performance issues when it counted most, Michimiya is still cited by many sports critics to be one of Japan's most promising athletes across all categories. He has the body of a trained athlete, keen senses and reflexes, the mind of a chess player. He is a force to be reckoned with on the courts. Will this be the year when he finally defeats Takagi Tanabe and claims the title of Japan's #1 junior? We can only speculate at this point, but many of us hope to see it. Shoichi looks up from the magazine for a second, giving me a pointed stare. Mind of a chess master? Really? Hey, I'm not the one who wrote this. Still, that's really high praise coming from them. I threatened to fight Keisuke. I'm not surprised. The chief editor of this magazine has always had a boner for Yuichi. What? Mizuguchi-san! What? It's true. Even when he loses, he gets glowing reviews every time. He's had something written about him in this magazine almost every month for the past 3 years. That level of fanaticism sounds like something my dad would do. Your dad's a fan of Yuichi? Fan doesn't even begin to describe it. Oh, really? What's he like? He has all of your matches from the past 4 years recorded. He rewatches them often, and he always shows up to your games, even when they're halfway across the country. What? Sounds like you should get a restraining order on him, Yuichi. No offense. It's fine. My dad means well, but he can definitely be a little intense. Well, I can certainly see the family resemblance. What do you mean? Keikun sighs, rubbing the bridge of his nose in exasperation. No, nothing. Never mind. Jun cocks his head to the side in confusion, a gesture that has easily turned into the most adorable thing I've seen all day. Well, now that that's all well and done, can I have the magazine, please? I want to see my article. Oh, there isn't one. The air immediately goes frigid. What do you mean there isn't one? Sai-chan, calm down. What are you talking about? I am calm. The constant cracking of her knuckles says otherwise. No, they didn't overlook you. It's just that this month's edition is focused on male players. Next month is apparently for the girls. Her body relaxes and we instinctively relax with her. I was already preparing myself for a side temper tantrum. Why didn't you say so earlier? You almost gave me the wrong idea here, Keikun. She playfully slaps him a couple times on the back. Ow, 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 Mizuguchi-san, it hurts. Oh, don't be such a baby. It was just some light taps. As if a cute little girl could hurt you. Where's the cute little girl? I don't see her. Oi, Yurata, do you want me to punch you? Oh, Sai-chan, you're scary as a Yakuza leader right now. Jeez, you're so mean. I'm just honest. Then don't be. Hey, what's that at the gate? My attention immediately snapped to the side, where I see Jin staring intently at the window. What's wrong, Jin? Is that a guy riding a horse? Huh? Everyone's attention immediately snaps to the front gate, as we see what looks like a white horse galloping towards the entrance. What? You've got to be kidding me. Yep, without a doubt, that's someone riding on horseback towards the entrance. Is that Ayako-san? What? Ayako? The horseman comes to a stop in front of the building. Class rep walks up to him and seems to be greeting him. So that's the new student, huh? Wait, there actually is a new student? Yeah, they informed all the third-year classrooms that he'd be transferring here from Europe. They wanted to make sure everyone would receive him well. He's transferring to this classroom, actually. Wait, what? Where's he transferring from? France, if I'm not mistaken. A French boy. He must be so dreamy. I bet he's gonna be cute, too. Shit. The last thing I needed is more competition. Now I won't be able to get with any girl. Just be gay. Let's face it, you wouldn't have a chance even if you were the last guy in here. That's too mean. There, bro. We'll get through this together. Shouldn't you be telling me that that's not true? Oh, I'm supposed to lie? You suck! Everyone, meet Victor. Oh, bye, bye. Bye, have a good night, bye. Wait. Everyone, meet Victor. Before we know it, class rep has already shown up in our class, another fox following in tow. He stood quite a bit taller than class rep, his face covered by beige fur that descended down towards his neck and disappeared inside of his uniform. He wore a meek smile as he half hid behind class rep despite easily standing over her. Aharo. His voice came out as a near squeal. It almost looked like his fur was tinted red. Not to mention his Japanese. His Japanese sounded so completely broken right now. He's so cute! He's adorable! The girls that were still in the classroom immediately crowd over him, touching and pulling on him as he looked at them in a panic. What? I don't know how to say that.
Self-voicing enabled. Victor, W.Y. L. Lesemoy RESB Ira Unpu, SIL Bu played. Self-voicing disabled.
Keikun twitches as he hears the boys talk. Kia! His French sounds so cute! His words seem to drive the girls even more wild. Class rep seems to be... Actually, I am kind of curious what he's saying. Let me, like, go to Google Translate on my phone real quick. French to English. Alright. Alright, we got it. We got it. Ready?
Laissez-moi respirer un peu, s'il vous plaît.
Let me breathe a little, please. Yeah, his French sounds so cute. His words seem to drive the girls even more wild. Class rep seems to be standing to the side, giggling delight at this little show. All right, that's enough. Keikun pushes his way through the mob, reaching up next to the fox and separating all of the girls from him. Everyone stop already. This is ridiculous. What? Who are you? Aren't you just a second year? Shh. He's the son of the Rushihara Corporation. Ah. As they start to whisper to themselves, it quickly creates a buzz around the group of girls and they seem to quickly disperse. Keikun breathes out in relief as he turns to the fox. I do not understand this. I don't. So, even more Google Translate. Yay. Fun. I'm constantly Googling this. My name is Keisuke Rushihara. It's a pleasure to meet you. The fox's eyes widen in surprise as he hears Keisuke speak in what I assume is French. You speak French? Keisuke smiles, offering a handshake. Yes, sir. The fox smiles widely, grabbing hold of Keikun's hand and shaking with gusto. Keikun. Oh, since when do you speak French? Oh, I can understand a few languages. Japanese, English, French, Portuguese, Indonesian, Italian. I'm pretty basic with most of them, though. English and French are the only ones I can actually speak. Huh, that's... wow. Yeah, at least someone can talk to him then. That won't be necessary. Victor can actually speak Japanese. Wait, he can? Yes, I can speak Japanese. Somewhat. Wow, your pronunciation is pretty good. I can't say it's impeccable, but it's very close. Thank you. Let me introduce myself properly. My name is Victor Chevalier. It's a pleasure to meet you. No, it's too hard to say it. Sorry? Don't worry about it. That's just how Kobayashi is. Just answer me this, though. If you can speak Japanese, then why didn't you say that you... Then why didn't you when they were hounding you? The girls don't understand a word of what you said. What did he say anyway? Something along the lines of, back off already, would you? No, that's not quite right. It was more, please just let me breathe, to be honest. Yeah, but you sound like a wimp with that line. The guy hasn't been here for 5 minutes and Keisuke is already making teasing jokes at his expense. Keikun, at least let him get acclimated with us before you start cracking jokes about him. Oh, sorry. He steps away looking awkwardly at Victor. The foxy, on the other hand, looks at us in curiosity. So you're my new classmates, right? Oh, yeah. My name's Yuichi Michimiya. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Jun Kobayashi. Nice to meet you, Vic-kun. Vic-kun? But... Oh, hey, I like the sound of that. Vic-kun. Vic-kun. It's catchy. I'll go with that, too. Nice to meet you, Vic-kun. I'm Keisuke from Class 2A. I'm Shoichi Iwata from Class 3A. I'm not your classmate, but I do come over here a lot, so you'll probably see me often. He's also president of the student council, so don't hesitate to go to him if you have some sort of problem. Oh, that's cool. I'll make sure to keep that in mind. Yeah. I live in the US. Me next. I'm Saya Mizuguchi from Class 3A. Bon voyage. Bon voyage? Yeah, that's nice to meet you in French, right? Keikun bursts out in laughter. What? Did I say something wrong? Bon voyage is French for have a safe trip. What? He hasn't even had time to arrive properly yet, and you're already shoving him out the door and telling him to leave. What? That's not what I meant. Stop laughing, Keikun. Keikun! I said stop laughing, damn it. In a single second, she grabs hold of him in a neck choke. Alright, I'm sorry, please let me go, I can't breathe. Are these two always like this? Oh yeah, you've seen nothing yet. That's scary, to be honest. You're gonna have to get used to it sooner or later if you're going to be in this class. I'll keep that in mind too. By the way, Vic-kun, what's up with the horse? In a second, everyone's attention immediately snaps to the fox as June finally asks the question we were all thinking but not saying. Oh, we're going there after all, huh? Okay, what is the deal with the horse? Vic winces, looking away from us for a second, his cheeks becoming red again. I kinda lost a bet. A bet? Well, not really a bet, more like, how should I put it? My older brother made an agreement with me in exchange for his help. You see, my parents were initially opposed to me going on an exchange program, and since they're divorced, I didn't get much time with my father. My brother, he told me that if he managed to convince my father to let me on this trip, I had to show up for my first day of class on horseback. That's pretty wild of him. Honestly, he does this kind of stuff all the time. Tormenting me seems to be his main hobby. That doesn't sound like a healthy hobby. Hey, messing around with your younger siblings can be fun at times. Yuichi-san too, huh? I guess we should call Child Protective Services before he messes up Akiyoshi-kun too badly. I was joking. Well, I guess it could have been worse. He could have imposed a condition like, you must go to school naked on your first day of class. I'd refuse to go on this trip then and there. Huh, always thought French people didn't really care about modesty. I feel like I should punch you for that. I was joking! Feel free to punch him, Vic-kun. He totally deserves it. Trust me when I say this. He's like this all the time. I said I was joking! Vic sighs, shaking his head. So, where do I even sit? Do we have an open seat in our classroom? There are a few in the back. But you'll have to be assigned one by the homeroom teacher. Since he's absent today, just take any seat you'd like and he'll deal with it tomorrow. Okay, I guess I'll take this one. It's all the same, really. Victor pulls the chair and throws his bag on top of it. So, I assume that it's lunchtime. Given how much food I see thrown on top of the tables, any chance there's a cafeteria here where I can get some food for myself? There is. But if you have any love for life, don't eat there. It's not that bad. It's only a few dishes that suck. The rest is perfectly edible. You're just being nitpicky because you're used to fancy stuff. My lunchbox is literally salad, rice, and sausages. What's fancy about that? Huh, yeah, wow. Totally not what I was expecting. What exactly were you expecting? Gold leaves, diamonds, and pearls? Something along those lines, yeah. You're ridiculous. I try. Wow, you two seem to get along very well. Not at all. Despite their protests about this sort of stuff, they end up agreeing with each other more often than not. It can be downright disturbing sometimes. Oh, I'm sorry. Ignore them. These two bickering is just another thing that you get used to in time. Oh. Don't ignore me. Hey, that's my line. Hey, stop stealing my Both of you stop! They immediately jump in surprise as Saya's thunderous voice threatens to shake their very core. Jesus, stop behaving like children already. You're both grown men. I'm sorry. Okay, is this something else I'll get used to with time? I'll tell you once I do. You'll leave him hanging for a good while then. Fucking Saya, Chad. Quite likely. You two are ruthless. Saya chuckles. Look who's talking. Saya waves him off, immediately turning around to look at Victor in the eye. A move that makes the fox jump. She puts both hands behind her back and curves her body forward, looking at him with a big smile on her face. So, Vic-kun, you said you need food, right? We can share some of ours with you. Right, guys? Yeah, totally, for sure. I wasn't even going to eat mine. Wow, that's really nice, but I can't accept that. Why not? If we give you a little bit of our 4 lunchboxes, we'll barely notice the difference for ourselves, but you'll still have a good deal of food to eat. Well, she gives his back a few light taps that are more like slaps, giggling. It's okay, isn't it? This is the perfect opportunity to get to know your new classmates. Not that I'm really your classmate, but that doesn't matter. It's alright, Vic-kun. I've only transferred to this school at the start of the school year, but they've all made me feel very welcome. That's nice to know. Suppose a meal couldn't hurt. How much do I have to pay you guys? You crack me up, as if we let you pay for that. But it's fine, Vic-kun. Come on, let's introduce you to the rest of the class. One by one, preferably. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Saya Chat is too strong. Na, 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 na. Yeah. Anyways, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.